Hi, my name's David Parker. I'm here with my fellow Visio MVP, Scott Helmers. I know that you do process flow charts quite a lot.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. And can you tell me if there's been any improvements in Visio 2010 to help you create them more easily, more productively?
Absolutely. There are a number of things that we showed in another video about getting shapes onto the page more effectively and achieving better alignment of shapes as you add them to the page. What I want to focus on in this demonstration is ways to take shapes that are already on the page and make them look better. So if we look at this flowchart in progress, it clearly needs a little help. It may be logically correct, but aesthetically it's a little challenged. So what I'm going to do is select the shapes in the top row by using a bounding box, just selecting all of them at once. And then I'm going to click the Position button on the Home tab and slide down to a button, a menu choice that says Auto Align. And you can see in the background that there's stuff happening on the diagram. Visio is actually moving not just the shapes that I've selected, but it's actually moving the other shapes a little bit too, which may or may not be what I want. I'm going to go actually a little further down this menu, and I'm going to choose Align Top so that you can see that my selected shapes are aligned with each other at the top, or the middle, or the bottom. And these choices do not affect anything other than the selected shapes. I like Align Middle, so I'm going to click there, and now I've got my shapes aligned vertically on the page. That's a good start. The spacing between shapes is still a little ragged. I can select a shape and I can use the arrow keys to nudge it up or down if I want to. I don't want to go up and down because that alignment is good. I can also just click on the shape and drag it. Now normally that gives me a full range of motion, but here's a very helpful tip. If you've already got the alignment in one direction correct, hold down the Shift key. That constrains Visio to move the shape only in the first direction in which you move. Notice I can't go up and down right now. If I happen to go up and down first, well, I can't go side to side. So in this case, I might want to move it over a little bit. Now that leaves me with a lot of fiddling to do if I want to move shapes individually. What I'd really like to do is just have Visio fix it for me. Let's do that. I'm going to select that same row of shapes again, back to the Position button, and this time I'm going to slide down to Auto Space. And once again, like Auto Align, the Auto Space function moves whatever Visio feels like moving it. Sometimes it seems that way, but it actually does a good job. However, I'm going to choose something slightly different. I'm going to go down a little further to Space Shapes and choose Distribute Horizontally. Now let me do that again and watch what's going on behind the scenes here. Distribute horizontally or vertically for that matter leaves the outermost shapes in position, does not change those. It moves the interior shapes within my selection so that the spacing is distributed evenly in the direction I choose. So Distribute Horizontally does exactly what I want for that first row in this flowchart. So it looks better. I could still tinker a little bit more with the shapes on the page, but I want to do something different. I want to take this heading, which is clearly not centered on the page, and I want to center it. Now this is a curious bit. With all the fancy things that Visio 2010 does do for me, one thing it does not provide is an automatic way to center something on the page. But there's help. If we look at the ruler at the top of the drawing window, and as I move this shape across the page left to right, notice that there are dashed lines moving in that ruler. There's one at the left end of the shape, one at the middle of the shape, and one at the right of the shape. So what I'm going to do is slide to the right until the middle dashed line is right on top of 5.5 inches, because for those of us in North America, using an 11-inch wide piece of paper, that's the center. Let go of the mouse, and my heading is now centered exactly where I want it.
Well, that's good, but I'm still feeling a little aesthetically challenged, or maybe your diagram is. And is there anything you can do to do it even more automatically?
There is, David. There actually is a nice function in Visio 2010 that will fix everything. Well, at least that's a good goal. Let's take a look at how that works. I'm going to press Control F6 to switch to a different diagram. And clearly, here's a flowchart that seriously needs help. So let's see what we can do with this with one button. I'm going to go to the Auto Align and Space button on the Home tab and watch what happens when I click. It's pretty magical, really. Let me undo and show you what that looked like before and after. It's really pretty nice. It does the spacing, it does the alignment and the arrangement of all the shapes on the page to the best that Visio can do. Now notice there's an end shape still floating out here. That looks okay, but I'd actually like it if it were down in line with the shapes in the second row. So I'm going to slide it down. I'm holding the Shift key to constrain left to right motion, and I'm going to go down until I get some feedback that I've got it where I want it. And in particular, I'm going to get the dynamic grid to show that I'm in line with the middle of the higher candidate shape. And now I have my flowchart exactly the way I want it.
Well, I think you've added some order to my life, Scott. What can I say? Thank you very much.
You're welcome, David.